Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Who's On. I did it again. I left me mic on pause. Mute. Pause. Mute. I'm an idiot. Anyway, welcome, everybody. I've just finished one stream for the members. We had our World War Three watch along, so just finished that. So if you're a member, where the hell were you? Because I see one of my members is actually on the panel. Where were you today? Would have been nice to chat to someone instead of chatting to the bleeding screen. But we'll get to that now in a few minutes. I'm joking. All joking aside, I know people watch after the fact. But there is one up. We did World War Three, so check that out. So let us bring on our guests. And we'll start with this person. So it's the one and only Problem Being. Where the hell were you?
One stream a day, mate. That's enough.
One stream a day. You better bleed and watch anyway. I'm only messing. What you call it? Yeah, good episode, man. Some of the CGI held up. I have to say, I really actually enjoyed it. But if you remember, go and check it out anyway. And as you can see, I'm using the Peter Capaldi picture that Lee kindly threw together for us. Also, I'm using that as my avatar. Isn't that nice? Anyway, let's bring on the next guest. You be quiet, you. I'm not talking to you right now.
Oh, shut up.
Anyway,
get over it.
Our next guest is actually royalty. You know, proper royalty doesn't let anybody down. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Are you two falling out already?
No,
Not even started the stream yet, you two.
We're good. I've got it out of my system now.
Yeah, you got it out of your system.
That's it. By the way, our next guest is the one and only Real Super Doctor.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. Nice to see you. No avatar, is he?
There's something wrong with it.
Oh, that happens with mine too. Anyway, our next guest is the one and only. Oh, there you go. It's up now. The one and only PD Rich.
Hey, is this thing working? Sorry, my sound card decided it wanted to update and not tell me.
Yeah, it's all good.
It is.
Okay, that's great. Something's working.
Right,
it's raining, by the way.
Everyone's mic seems very hot today, like distorted. Has everyone got their game?
My settings have gone nuts now.
No, I was told yesterday I was echoing, so I went in while I was streaming. But I'm not echoing, so it's something to do with YouTube because
I know what's wrong.
If I go into and watch this stream on my phone, I'm not echoing. But apparently last night I was when I did.
No, I heard that right here. And
that better probably just take a load of special effects off.
So I think it's just maybe I don't know. The internet is playing up and all the other shit is playing up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's
and we know my issues. So
yeah. I'm still looking into that. I'm having a dig around.
Did you get my email then, mate?
I haven't. No. But I will check. I will check.
What he's basically trying to say is that he didn't bother his arse checking, but now that you've said it to him, he's going to check, but he's going to pretend.
Don't cheapen it.
No,
I don't think I have received it. It might have gone into. Might have gone into junk or something.
Nah, internet is playing up as well. It goes into the spam sometimes because that's what was happening with Charlotte with me. I think when I was sending her emails, it was going into the spam. So you're dead on right when you're ripping the piss.
Yeah.
Just have a look in your junk, then it's probably gone in there. If not, tell me and I'll send it again.
Anyway, we've got 8 people watching right now, so do me a favor in the chat. If you're ready, it's time heist, yeah?
Okay.
So if you're already in the chat, you know what to do. Press 1, and we on the panel will start getting the episode ready as well. So I'll just do this.
So you're telling me we have a good episode tonight?
We've got a good one tonight. Well, this will be my second good one because I watched World War III on member stream, so I'm on a bit of a roll with the good Doctor Who episodes this week. And next week is Dalek. So,
next week is Kill the Moon for us.
Kill the Moon. Yeah. So I have
many of us won't kill ourselves.
I have one good one.
I might be dead that day.
Yeah, he's dead for tax reasons.
Well, you know what to do, Lee. You're not going to turn up for that one. Then just make sure you're in the member stream for Dalek, because Dalek is actually a good episode.
Yeah, that's a decent episode.
Bad Wolf 1 descending. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right, is everybody
shot on the moon?
Is
Sorry,
everybody on? No, it's grand, it's grand. We got a couple of ones in the chat. Is everybody on the panel ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we'll start then. Without further ado, if Queen Charlotte would like to do the honors.
No, it's felt ages since I've done this. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
There we go. And we're
I
off.
know, Lee, don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is the way this started.
Yeah.
Seriously, he was funny.
Yeah.
I do like him in a black shirt, though. I think it looks a bit better.
I think Capaldi just suited darker colours, didn't he? He's
Yeah.
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 Narcissist.
Oh god, melodrama alert! Melodrama alert!
What?
At least this episode didn't have too much of the Danny
No.
Clara rubbish.
No.
It's only the first kind of couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about as much aggression as you get from Danny Pink.
I don't know, he got pretty aggressive with the Doctor at times.
Mm.
But the kind of soldier hate that Capaldi's doctor kind of had made no sense.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I
the
don't know.
one thing
I always saw it as it was a mirror to him. Like it was the fact that Danny was a soldier was a really unwelcome reminder, just constantly when he was around him. So he
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I don't think it's so much the soldier thing. I think it's just because of the Doctor's experiences, he can usually
Yeah.
put that stuff behind and like in the back of his head. But because of Danny's
It's the
job,
worm.
Nah, the
Yeah.
worm.
Memory worms.
Yeah. I see what I don't get about this is because the fact that how can he be against soldiers and he worked basically for soldiers in unit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was kind of thinking.
You know,
well,
that's
you've got to sort of remember we didn't have Time War in the whole
Yeah.
canon at that point. The
Yeah.
Time War sort of makes a lot of the current doctors
Yeah.
very different to their classic counterparts.
Yeah. I bet if Benton turned up, it'd be really nice to Benton.
Oh yeah, and he
Yeah.
still like
Yeah.
respected the brig.
Change your
stuff.
shoes.
Hello, Chris.
It was fascinating though, wasn't it? The start of this episode.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
This is one of the episodes where having a load of information left out at the beginning actually
Yeah.
worked.
Yes, I'll see.
I prefer the rock version of this.
Yeah. And what's interesting about this episode, it feels like a Doctor Who episode. It doesn't feel like, you know, like someone's just contrived an episode together just for the
Yeah.
sake of it. It really feels like a Doctor Who episode.
This one does, yeah.
Yeah.
And we get a bit more fan canon added to.
Yeah.
Sorry, a bit more. What do we call it? Thingy canon added in as well.
Head cannon, if I can get
Not
the words
head.
out.
What do we call it? Thingy Lost Era canon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, Chris and TARDIS Spider.
Yeah,
Nice
sorry,
to see you both.
Charlie, it's a bit, yeah. They show, was it Anson Dak or whatever his name is? Dalek Hunter.
Oh, when he's doing all the
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. There's a bit
all
of-
the ex-cons
Yeah.
when he's trying to, and it, yeah.
yeah. It's a bit like what it did with, what's his name, with Paul McGann when he crashed and started reading all his companions out.
Yeah, in the minisode.
Subcon, they put some kind of subcanon, what we could consider Star Trek a subcanon, yeah. They put into it. And I like those. That's what I like about Moffat. He always did that. That's something I liked about Moffat.
Yeah, like for all the issues Moffat had, I think actually if you take more of the grand scheme of things, he was very careful with how he treated canon. He
Yeah,
was very careful.
yeah. Yeah, but as I said, he's not the worst now. He's definitely not the worst.
Well, no,
He's
he
not
always
the worst.
started off big, and it looked impressive.
Yeah.
right? But when it came to especially if it was a 2 or a 3-parter,
Yeah.
it's in the middle and the end is where you would lose
Yeah,
it.
he's not. He's a starter, not a finisher, Moffat. You see, he loves Doctor Who, but it's like
Yeah.
So I said it's a starter, not. I always said he's a sprinter, not a marathon runner. As a
Yeah,
showrunner.
he works better as like being on the list of writers instead of heading a series.
That's it. Being under a
Yeah.
showrunner.
Well, Moffat is trying to overcomplicate things by putting
That's it.
so much scientific jargon and all that together and
That's
like
it,
that.
yeah.
And he's trying to be really kind of make the episode seem more cleverer, because a lot of the episodes under Russell T Davies seem to be kind of, like kind of comedy based.
Yeah, a bit
and
more
that.
soapy. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Not like
Can I
nowadays.
just say I want
but
one of
For
those
anybody.
worms?
Of course you do, Lee.
Alien Resurrection
Jack-
Security here.
Yeah.
Jack says, at least the episode doesn't have Kate Blander's help. Did you know my dad was in the show back in the day, Stuart? I love that.
Just wait until we get on to season 10.
I love that.
I like Kate at the beginning
Yeah.
when she first came into the show.
I never liked her character.
Did you not?
Nah, some of the Brigadier purists don't like that. And I have to agree to a certain extent. I do like Kate myself, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's a family that you didn't really want explored,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kate Lethbridge Stewart was mostly appeared in the kind of the downtime, if I'm right, the downtime videos by, I think it was Real Time. Can't remember it. It was a long time ago that there was a spin-off with Nicholas Courtney and his daughter.
Oh, yes. One they made by J&T's company.
Yeah.
That's it. He did. That's what you say what you like about J&T, but he did a lot behind the scenes and in the background.
And
I
I
was
thought
like,
TNT
oh,
would have
look
done
at
more.
me having someone looking exactly like me, and look at my pretty nose. It's just,
She just everything she does, Clara, is just self-centered. Everything she
know.
does. Tell you what, that's I'm hoping she's not back for the 60th. I'm like, please, God, don't
please.
bring Clara back.
I hope she comes
Oh.
back as like a Pomeranian or something. That's my Pomeranian. Call it Clara.
Yeah, and especially Love. I won't go into
Yeah.
details because it's spoilers, but don't come back trying to do a northern accent because you tried in Sandman and it was not good.
Oh God.
and here you can see all the Sherlock Holmes style of style.
Yeah, like Mind Palace and that sort of stuff was creeping in now.
But this is an episode where he actually does it so well. And then there's
Yeah.
other episodes where he tries to replicate the same thing and it's poorly done.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think this works because what Real Super Doctor was saying, like it's a mystery, but it's a heist. It's not a
God, the
sci-fi.
extras in this are terrible.
Oh yeah, but in this episode, it's not like a really not like a sci-fi tech-based mystery. It's this heist. It's this mystery of what's in the vault, which is a lot easier to write this sort of complex story around versus here's a load of babbity gook that only I'm going to understand.
I
Which is what
love
Moffat got
this
bad
design.
Yeah,
This,
I love this alien. But you see, we never considered that the Doctor is there to break the alien out, you know. We think he's there to rob something else, which is clever by Moffat. See, even the Doctor doesn't know.
Yeah, and I love, obviously we'll get there near the end, but I just love the reveal of who it is who's sent them. I think that's one of the best reveals Moffat did in like for a single episode sort of the moment. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a cool alien.
I'm not sure if that alien is in the Liverpool Doctor Who exhibition. I think I've seen it in a photograph.
Yeah. It's the coolest alien in season 8.
Yeah.
Is it like a big thing then to look at? I can picture it being quite a big practical alien.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
looks big in the episode.
Well, I think it's got a CG head.
Oh, okay.
It's also got an animatronic. The actual thing's got an animatronic head, but it's also a CG head for all this kind of stuff.
Plus, we've got Keely Hawes, and she's actually used really well in this episode, which I like.
Yeah.
That was very unpleasant through headphones.
Yeah.
You want to hit the high frequencies?
Not only is he dead, but his family as well. It's like North Korea. If anybody in your family in North Korea does that wrong, you're at fault. Their descendants are at fault, and this is basically what this is.
That's how my head went when I watched Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who.
That's how most of us went.
Yeah, it's deflated. It was so bad.
He's got a soup bowl head now.
That's how we'll all look after next week's episode.
Soup roll
Yeah,
head.
you're right. Brain fucking dead.
Brain implosion.
But what I love about Hawes in this is she's just loving playing the villain. Like,
Yeah.
she's relishing playing this sort of despicable character.
Yeah. I'd love to have seen some of these characters again.
Huh?
Because I even think,
It's just a USB
God,
plug.
I quite even like the design of the cyber person. Not cyber
Yeah.
person, but the
Yeah.
android fellow. I think that he's got a cool design as well.
Yeah.
He's actually good in it as well.
Oh, he's a good actor. He's in Bridgerton nowadays.
Something I won't watch.
And then we kind of
He
hear
plays
his
the woman.
story anyway, so
I mean, the casting in this is so well done. I mean, Kelly Hawes, is it?
Yeah.
I actually thought that she was some kind of hidden character in this, that she
Yeah.
was going to be something else to be revealed, or
Oh, I think if she wasn't in this, I would
Yeah.
love her to be like a female Time Lord, like a villainous
yeah.
female Time Lord. Like
Like the
that's
new
I would
the
rather
Rani.
these two be
obvious
the
one.
companions than Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping Clara would die in this one and they'd replace her.
yeah. But you know, Moffat has a thing. He'll kill someone off, and then he'll just bring them back. because-
No one
Back,
dies.
yeah.
Everybody lives.
Too often.
Which was good
Yeah.
for Dr. Dances, even though I
Yeah.
still think, to me, that was a bit of a cop-out. You're a wartime, like, I'm sorry, Moffat,
People
whether you
die.
like it or not, the horrors of war, and that's the reality of war. You should have left them all dead.
Chris,
The
there's
doctor moaning
right,
about
the
it.
thunder has started. If I go silent for a while, it's because we have a row now.
Oh, you got thunder. We just had a downpour for about 2 hours.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
weather's changed here too. It's nice.
Yeah, but it didn't clear
Yeah.
anything. It's still muggy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still humid, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
it hasn't gone away. It's like
It's like 76% humidity or something like that.
It was 100% humidity yesterday. It was insane.
Was it?
yeah.
Crikey.
I didn't even see it at 99%, not 100.
So you
Yeah,
guys
just
have-
look at go on.
I suppose Noel's got a dog, but you don't know he and annoyance until you have to try and get a dog to walk in this
I know.
weather. When they're
Yeah.
looking at you, it's like you have to go out. And they're
I
like,
bring
"Do
him down. I bring him down to where a car park because it's shaded. I won't bring him outside because remember, if we were to step on that concrete, we'd burn our feet. So just think
Yeah.
about what it's like for
Yeah.
a dog. You know,
And I, can't,
So-
I don't have that option. I have to take her out, and it's just like,
Mm.
oh.
Well, it's not what my next door neighbour's dog when she was staying over about 8, 9 o'clock when in S8. So everything's cool and keep her on the grass.
that's it. Bring the dog out in the evening if you can.
That's it.
thing,
Early
probably.
mornings, late evenings.
And just before lunch is probably the best time before noon as
Yeah.
well. But bring plenty of fluids with you as well.
Yeah.
For your dog, not for you.
Yeah. Everyone should have plenty of fluids in this weather.
No, and I quite like the sort of how the Doctor and the android are just not getting on. I like it
Yeah.
when you get that
Yeah.
where he's
Yeah.
the android's very quick to sort of suss the Doctor out. And I love that line. I don't know if we've come to it yet when he talks about professional, like how does he phrase it? Like you disconnect.
Yeah.
You've got that
Yeah.
professional. That's why it's Doctor.
See, it's really especially with this version of the Doctor. I mean, it really doesn't get on with anybody unless he kind of clicks with somebody. I mean, look at Clara. I mean, he clicked with Clara for a long time, but until this regeneration, it kind of broke that kind of bond between each other, and
Yeah.
you can see that the total change in personality of Clara as well.
Clara should have left with Matt. Jenna
Yeah.
should have left with Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think maybe at the most she could have done one series with Capaldi to sort of
Yeah.
help him sort of
Yeah.
work himself out a bit and then leave.
Or gone
I
out
think-
within an episode or two, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's happened before.
Oh yeah, no, actually that's a good way to do it.
How
They actually
happened
do
with
that.
Sarah
Bloody
Jane.
arrogant was she at the beginning of season 9, though. I'm the longest running companion. Okay, K9, whatever you say.
Oh, it's all right. It's now Yaz, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yaz now, apparently. By the way, that
Yeah.
reminds me, there is a Radio Times poll that you can vote to pick your favourite companion. Now, the last time I checked, Wilf was actually winning, but we know that's an
Oh,
emotional
God.
decision right there, right? Donna Noble is second, right? But I noticed something. The male companions of the RTD, not at the RTD era, the Chris Chibnall era, when I last checked the poll, were all on 0%. Yaz had gotten a couple of percent in there, but the lads, Graham O'Brien, Dan, Tolson Cole, they all got 0% the last time I checked.
Graham should get some.
So if you haven't voted, look, I voted for my favourite. I didn't vote. I didn't vote based on what other people were voting on. I voted on the companion, the best new Who companion, and you all know who that is, right? To me, because I've told you plenty of times. The best new Who companion.
It's funny because Donna Noble is winning.
Yeah,
and Captain Jack is second.
Oh wow!
I know why Captain Jack is second, though.
Oh,
I can answer that question right now. See, all the Captain Jack bots have come together, and fans of his have come together, and they've retweeted the poll between themselves and asked people to vote for John Barrowman, because what they think, if he comes in second, they're hoping that BBC will see this and then maybe release his audio that they shelved and some of the other stuff. So yeah, if you're a fan of Captain Jack, vote Captain Jack. But I would say vote for your companion who was your favourite, and for me it was Donna.
I find it hilarious that out of all the male companions for Jodie Whittaker, they've got no votes at all, but Yasmin's got 3%. It's just like she's the least fucking characterized.
There you go. So they're still on 0%, are they? They're still on 0%. Oh my god.
Yaz is on 3%.
JFO just said
she's got the same amount of votes as Martha Jones. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Wow, Martha Jones should be higher in that anyway.
pretty much more talented actress.
But I think Donna winning is a fair result because Donna is the best new Who companion. Don't care what anybody says. But I can understand why Wilf is polling so high because of recent events. And you know what? If he comes in top 3, that'll be brilliant. That'll be brilliant. But
Sarah Jane Smith, it was only in one episode. It's got the same as Yaz Khan.
Yeah, but she was in Sarah Jane Adventure. She had a whole entire spin-off.
Doesn't matter, as I said, put that radio to actually someone put that poll in the the chat there for us if you can. But here, vote for your favourite, whoever it is, right? Don't vote tactically. Just vote for you. That's what I did. I just voted for my favourite, and that's Donna Noble. For me, she's the best New Who companion. That hasn't changed. So that's who I voted for. But if you think, Jack or Donna, or not Donna, Rose or Martha Jones are your favourite, or even Wilf.
Oh, I was gonna say, Amy, if you're.
There you go.
Or Amy Pond,
Right,
Rory. Vote for them. Vote for them. Don't vote tactically. Vote for your one. Right? All of that nonsense has to stop. If the other side want to try change a poll, look, they're not around. That's why that poll hasn't been influenced. Because when Doctor Who is not on TV, when Jodie's not around, they're not around. They only pop up a couple of weeks before the episode drops. Yeah? And then they turn up all of a sudden. So let's see, because Radio Times will report on that poll. After the poll closes, they'll do an article on it.
Yeah.
They'll say fans voted Donna Noble the best New Who companion or something like that. And then they'll spin the fact that the lads didn't get any votes and Yaz got 3. Yaz doesn't deserve 3. If Anton, Graham O'Brien and even Tolson Cole's character deserves a couple of percent over that plank.
Dan doesn't deserve anything apart from annoying at the best
She
of
can't
times.
even act, man. She was on Hollyoaks. Get back to Hollyoaks.
No, but it's like, even in this episode, like these actors are in this one episode, and they're very good, like across the board. Like that's the quality we used to get.
Yeah.
It's quite intense, isn't it?
Just like this episode, it's just so dark.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't get away with that now. She'd be there at the end and saves everyone.
Should be the Whammonsy that saved everyone and the bestest ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because this episode's like dark, but it's also quite touching. Also, like with the backstories of the mutant girl. Like I said, I'm terrible with names, people. Like that whole thing of her wanting to touch and to actually have a relationship is quite raw. And then obviously the android. I love that conversation he has with Clara when Clara once again is showing how stupid she is, but she's like, "Oh, how could you do it?" And it's like, come on, he's telling you why. It's obvious because he wanted to protect them. That's why he wiped his memories.
We should forgive Jack. There's nothing to forgive. Listen, right? The Jack Barrowman fan base has actually been throwing up videos over the last couple of days, right? That show that people at Comic-Con, right, at these cons, these panels that you were doing, were encouraging Jack or encouraging John to do the stuff that he was doing on stage. Now, maybe he probably should have looked at it and probably shouldn't have went with some of it. But it was the audience themselves that were doing this. John Barrowman doesn't need to be forgiven because this was a non-issue. It was dealt with at the time and he was able to move on, even appeared in the show after the fact. The fact that there's a certain group within this fandom, blow-ins as I call them, are outraged and offended by something that happened over 16, 17 years ago.
They weren't even
just
alive.
Tells you how bad they are. Listen, they look for things to be offended. John Barrowman doesn't need to apologize again. He doesn't need to be forgiven because he was encouraged to do these things by the audience that he was, and the more he did it, and the more he was being encouraged, he did keep doing it. So if you're going to be encouraged by the people that are in the audience, right, and they're loving it and reveling in it, and he thinks, oh, they're loving this, this is how I can be, it's all, look at actors and actresses, be under no illusion. Everything that they do is because they want to want to be popular, right? They can say whatever they want. It's all about their craft and all of this. It's not. Right? They like all the other stuff that comes with celebrity, right? And the one thing that celebrities need, because they got fragile egos and fragile, they don't think of themselves very highly. when people like us start reveling in their madness and their nonsense and stuff like that, they love it. They love it.
Yeah.
Gives them confidence. So he doesn't need to be forgiven for nothing, right? And I think RTD, yeah, they're liking that artwork. Don't be surprised. Look, I always said it, right? Don't be surprised if John Barrowman was to make a return. Maybe not now, but somewhere in the future.
Yeah, I could see him with Shooty's doctor, like in the one episode.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it. If Shooty's doctor ends up being a gay doctor, well then, you bring in Captain Jack. That's going to get interesting.
Exactly.
They'll be showing each other their sonic screwdrivers.
But this is a great story, so I'll stop now with me nonsense. But
You see the reference to one of the comic book villains.
Yeah. Handsome Dark.
Oh,
I
and
think
also, he was in Torchwood. The actor. Oh, what's his name? There's a flash of him.
Yeah.
He was in Buffy.
Yeah.
I can't think of the actor's name.
The guy who played Giles.
No, he was Spike in Buffy.
Spike.
he played he played Captain Jack's ex-boyfriend or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
in
Captain Jack
Torchwood,
or
and he
something.
he had that fight in the bar, which was
Yeah.
brilliant, by the
Yeah.
way.
But I love that he got very quickly shown. Like that's what.
And so the
Yeah.
hot one has to die for Clara. Typical. Bloody typical. Or because she was stupid and ran.
That's Clara. She's stupid and she runs.
This is Stephen Moffat, Lee. He doesn't die. I think he comes back. You see him at the end, don't you?
I can't remember. I haven't seen it since it aired.
It's good. Well, don't say anything then to anybody
All right.
until he's watched to the end. Anyway.
I think when this one was on, I didn't quite take to it, so I'm enjoying it a lot.
Oh, there's the actor, James Masterson, who I was thinking of. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, James Masterson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a massive run with Joss Whedon recently.
Clara is an asshole. Clara is an asshole.
She's not the worst though.
No, I can remember when this first came out, I was like just about to give up watching for a bit. And then I watched this episode. I was like, oh no, actually, I really like this episode.
Yeah. Then I watched Kill the Moon and thought, why am I doing this?
See, that's
And then
the
I
thing.
got to kill the moon.
Yeah, Egypt, but that was the thing when you felt like you were going to give up on the Moffat era. He'd come out with a cracking story, and then you just hang on.
Yeah, but from my memory, I remember I hung on till now, first time, and I was like, right, okay, this is good. And then I watched Kill the Moon, and I was just like, I can just miss a few episodes now quite happily. Like,
Yeah.
the levels of stupid, but we'll get to that next week.
Yeah. And the caretaker.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, PD, you had the double dose of that child actress who I could not stand.
God.
And I was just like, why, Moffat, have you brought this one back?
Yeah. Yeah. The one I thought was in The Witcher, but wasn't in The Witcher, thank God.
Yes. When you said that, I was like, no.
She just goes around on every film. She's going, I was in Doctor Who. Every single thing on IMDb is like almost like, I was in Doctor Who.
That's a bit stupid, isn't it? If the vault's going to open every time there's a fucking storm, I think you'd put in some fail safes, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a crap bolt.
Really?
Hey, Daniel.
But isn't this like a super duper storm or something?
Yeah.
Is my understanding. Hello, Daniel.
Unless they overrode the fail safes.
Hey, Daniel.
But yeah, that's what I can understand. It was such a powerful storm that even their best defenses would just kaput.
Yeah. And what they've been doing is running around deactivating the fail safes. If this was Rick and Morty, it'd be something really stupid in it that Rick put there sometime when he got drunk.
Probably.
Oh, Rick and Morty starts back soon as well.
September.
And Chucky starts back as well.
Yep.
Can't wait for that. I liked the 4th series. It was good.
Yeah.
Plus, as well, I think the sets are lovely in this episode as well. Because
Yeah.
you've got like all
Yeah.
the bank, which is so grey and like utilitarian, and then you get into the vault, and it's just this lovely golden, like antiques everywhere type set.
Oh.
Yeah, she might have been a good Ronnie.
Yeah, I think she would have. But like I said, the more I think about it, I would have just loved for her to be an original character, like just
Yeah,
an
yeah,
original
yeah.
villain.
Yeah.
Well, we can in hope.
Yeah, sometimes they come back.
Yeah.
And she has worked with Russell recently on It's a Sin, so you never know.
I love that, the teller, bank teller.
Plus, I just love the clone reaction when she's like, "Oh yeah, and you're fired, so you're dead."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, phone. Oh, it's my bloody sister ringing again. There we go. All your yesterdays. Love that.
I love that music, man.
Oh yeah, the dramatic.
Do 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 do. I love it, man. Murray Gold. Yeah, I just have to bring Murray back for the 60th. And I don't care if he doesn't
Yeah.
come back for Series 14, but the 60th, he has to make a return. And that should be the next announcement, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Sega Nakamoto announced he's leaving. Wonder why.
Yeah. Oh dear, what a shame.
Bring the
I-
gold
Well, I hope
back.
he does go and get work appropriate to him, like CSI or something like that.
Documentary or CSI, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sequin Akinola.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's
Tried his best, but hey.
he tried his best with Doctor Who. He's just not good enough.
I don't think he
unfortunately.
was getting the feedback, and I'll probably find out in the long run he wasn't getting the feedback.
Oh, I don't think anybody got feedback.
No, they
PD.
just did it. They just did what they thought was right. Just,
Yeah, nobody got
In
notes.
fairness, I have to say, I think he upped it in the last few specials. Even if you're not a fan of his music, I did actually like the music in the last two specials. I thought he did up it a little bit. It was a bit more
He does
intense.
some nice. He does some nice music. Unfortunately, a lot of it's tonal and doesn't elevate the scenes, and often it's the same music that's reused over and over and over and over again. But the themes aren't really recognizable. I think the only sort of recognizable theme from this era is the Doctor's theme, which isn't. It's a nice piece of music, but it doesn't really fit.
Well, I think the problem is for me, it's too whimsical almost, and that just doesn't suit Jodie at all. Like the other themes fitted
I
the
think it's too earnest, not too whimsical.
Yeah, maybe that's the better word. Like it just doesn't suit her at all. Like Matt's was scatty and all over the place and was perfect for him.
Yeah.
Tennant's was like a hero thing. It felt like that adventure, that hero character sort of music. And Chris's was a bit more downplayed, which suited his Doctor.
Yeah.
And Capaldi's like the coming storm kind of thing.
Mm. Oh yeah,
channeling his
Malcolm Tucker.
Malcolm McLaren. Malcolm Tucker. D, shut up.
Just up.
Yeah, I just realised that. There was something I liked about this episode.
Yeah, but you just wanted that shut up to be a bit more intense, like you did in the thick of it.
He wouldn't get away.
About being an idiot or something.
I honestly think that's probably the most you could get away with. That delivery.
Yeah.
And then he just turned around and says, "I'll see you next Tuesday."
But I think Capaldi's, like, all the Doctors, when they realise something, moments of fun, but Capaldi's are some of the funnest.
Yeah.
I think he said something about the Doctor was totally different from Malcolm. Malcolm was more like he was like out in the open swearing and that. Where the Doctor was polite and everything like that, and he would do everything like. It would kind of solve a situation by his mind rather than just saying, "See you next Tuesday."
I love when he realizes now, though, like, especially when he's like, "God, I hate them," and it's like that's what makes him at the heart of this. It's the Doctor's self-hatred, and that's why he sees the same thing in Keeley Hawes' character.
Yeah.
And he clicks then, and I just find that a bit sad but brilliant that that's what gets it going in his head. This whole sort of what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was saying before. Like I've watched more of Classic. That's what I would say is the defining trait between Classic and New Who.
Yeah.
Is that self-hatred. You don't have it in Classic era. Oh, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's like post-Time War, isn't it? He starts hating himself.
And you just see it in really violent bursts in Capaldi's Doctor.
Yeah.
I love the way he said, "Give me a call."
Yes. But he's doing this sort of this to.
I mean, even to his 12th incarnation, there's still that kind of doubt because of the Time War.
Oh yeah.
It still lingers, even though that you can clearly see that it was like almost totally kind of forgiven by it because of the time, the Day of the Doctor, with Matt Smith.
Yeah, but that's why, without going into loads of detail, that's another thing I just didn't see in Jodie's Doctor. That sort of loathing a bit, that self-hatred.
Yeah.
Obviously, it shouldn't be as strong in her logically, but I remember thinking at the time, I don't see even a bit of that, and that should still be in you somewhere.
Yeah.
What I didn't see with Jodie's Doctor is this old being inside a young person that you could that could carry it. You can always see it in all the Doctor's eyes. Like you can see
Oh,
it
yeah.
in William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee, Tom Baker,
But
Peter Davison, etc.
for me, I just couldn't see. For me, this is more of a writing thing. I just couldn't
Yeah.
see be carried over,
Yeah,
which you can't really blame her so much for. It was the writing that
yeah,
it needed to even if it was just in like one episode and
Yeah.
then dealt with, it just needed to be show itself a tiny bit, and it just was
Yeah.
never there
Yeah.
writing wise. I said it shouldn't consume a Doctor. I
No.
wouldn't want that, but it should. Like we said with this episode, it's a blip, and you see and you think, "Oh God, okay," and then it moves on. But it should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Clara, I need worms. I love it.
I love the worms.
Yes, Daniel. When Scott's telling you to shut up, it does have impact.
Yeah. There's the first appearance of Shitty. And everybody will think that the first appearance of his hoodie wearing was actually in Last Christmas, but it's in this episode.
Yeah. Just wanted to slap her at that point.
Yeah.
Ah.
Hi, TARDIS time.
8 hours time. It's a rescue mission.
It was a rescue mission.
So the teller's a bit gay.
Well, they do without the jumpsuits on, don't they?
And they're not a childbearing hip amongst them.
I expect them to start galloping, but they just start walking normally. What?
The Doctor telling dad jokes.
Yeah.
His suits, Capaldi.
And he never does. We never see him again.
I
Sadly.
know you're looking for food, but I had it all, Ted, before you came in. It's all gone.
Oh, is he begging?
Yes, yes. See, he's not liking his dry food very much, so he'll begrudgingly eat it now later on. But
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that's
sister's
what-
Shih Tzu used to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, mine does that.
Yeah.
and he keeps walking under our feet as well. It's like as if he wants to trip her up and
Jamie,
Amazing.
we're not doing 13. We're not putting ourselves through that.
Okay.
I think once was enough with that era, the first era. Never again.
Next
Trust me,
time.
I've had to watch some of them twice. Super Doctor.
Oh,
Oh, the next one's the caretaker, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Not Kill the Moon.
And then you got
Oh,
Matt
no.
Smith's music
Just
in
as
this as
bad.
well. Listen, you got Matt Smith's music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but PD, there's bits of the caretaker that I just can't stand.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I love
episode
Capaldi's
is...
shirt
Any
for this.
being a
The polka
Oh,
dots.
God.
And the whole when he
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
she's like dating that young guy who looks like him. I'm like,
I
why
know,
would
that's
you
hilarious.
think that?
Yeah.
You've literally told her you're not it's not boyfriend to her, but you're being blatantly jealous. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the review and rating for this story. So we'll just start in order. So Lee, keep it brief, please, and give us your rating.
yeah. Well, I mean, I remember because I last watched this when it was aired, so that's why I didn't really remember what was happening. I remember the teller, and I remember the woman and the bank, and that was about all I remembered really. I don't think I was particularly invested in it the first time, but I think I quite enjoyed it this time. A bit difficult to sort of pay attention to everything because obviously we're all talking a lot about stuff. But yes, it's quite clever. You know, it's timey-wimey, loath to say it. Good performances. Like the guest cast. Shame we don't get to see them again because I think they're pretty good, pretty strong characters. Referring to the pattern of sorry, but it's got a few Sherlock Holmesy stuff going on in that. But yeah, it kind of does work. And you got obviously the doctor setting everything up. It's nice. It's nice to have a sort of redemption arc for the mad woman who's running everything, and then she gets old as he sort of jokes about, you know, I'll be dead, but you'll be old. And she has regrets, and obviously it's about setting free this teller, which is quite interesting. It's not quite what you think it is, which is kind of nice. I think it could have done with a bit more time to develop, but it's a good romp. Probably the best of the story so far of this season, I'd say. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Fantastic. Has to be different to the two people in the chat that put 8. So Lee just gives it a half point less just to be different. Anyway,
that's how I feel.
Thank you for that. That was a nice.
And the time worm, the memory worm things, they've been in Doctor Who before, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yep.
and they're cute too. They're cute too. Yes. You'd like to take one home, you know, or especially, do you know where they'd come in handy? Do you know when you're on a night out, and you know, back in your younger days, and maybe you picked up someone that you probably wouldn't normally pick up, but because you're fueled with alcohol, that's when the memory worm would actually come in handy. You wouldn't have to do that walk of shame. Just slap the worm on your hand, and you won't have any memory of the bad experience. Anyway, Queen Charlotte is next.
Like we sort of said, this is when complex and a lot going on in an episode actually works, because you can, and also this, watching this again, it really feels planned out, this episode. Like, it really does feel like they were like, here's the beginning, middle, and end, and here's the clues that's going to be the reveal at the end. And I do like it because, like we said, sometimes Moffat could, in his era, not do that, and you could tell he had certain ideas, but he couldn't quite weave them. And this is quite a well done, weaved lots of things. I always like it when we have a bit of the Doctor exploring, even if it's just a little bit of his own feelings about himself or what he sort of regrets, and there's quite a bit of that near the end, which I always enjoy. And because it's Capaldi, it's sort of, you can see it with his performance, but he doesn't say it. And I appreciate it when it's done in that fashion. And yeah, the cast is really good. I forgot how good the supporting cast was actually in this. And it's just a bit like, yeah, I agree with what Lee said. It's sort of this really nice one-off story in a season that hadn't been brilliant up until now. So I'll give this a 9.
Fantastic, PD.
Yeah, I thought it was the best episode of the season so far. Actually, it's one of my favourites. But as I said, you got Captain John Hart and Anson Dark appearing in like little tiny sequence. So it's really bringing like the kind of back canon, kind of the lost. That's it, Absent Dak. That's it, and John Hart, Captain John Hart. So you're bringing Torchwood into it. You're bringing the what do we call it? The wilderness eras of Doctor Who into it, and it's just I like that little sequence. I like the companions in this one, even though they're only in for one episode. I wish we could see them again. It's a good
swap
episode.
them with Clara.
Oh yeah, swap anything with Clara. It's one of those good. It's just one of those good episodes you get every once in a while. It's good who done it. It kind of all resolves itself in the end. And I just give it a 9. I think it's a brilliant episode.
Fantastic, real super Doctor.
I think this is one of Capaldi's best episodes so far in this season. I think that it gives him the strength to kind of, explore the Doctor in the way that it's very much like kind of Sherlock Holmes. As you can see, the cut scenes and all that, and the kind of slow scenes and all that, and the kind of behavior of the Doctor. It's like Sherlock Holmes, Cluedo, and all that all mixed together. And when we really find out that it is being this alien that's being suppressed and being held kind of against its will, and it's wanting to be free, and it's wanting to be with its partner, and in the end, it does get resolved, and it's quite a nice touch to it. But there's good performances from Keely Hawes in this, and the cast are quite strong in this, and the music's quite good in this. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Fantastic. Well, look, people have almost said everything I wanted to say, but I'll add as well that I do like the fact that when this episode starts, it's kind of starts while they're actually about to do the bank heist. I like the way he did that. Excuse me. I do like the cut scenes because obviously then you get the explanation of all of that. But I gave World War III an 8 out of 10 today. Do I think Time Heist is better than World War III? Is what I'm trying to decide right now with me rating. Look, the supporting cast in this was brilliant, but they were in World War III as well. I just didn't like the alien costume in World War III. But I mean, I do like the way the Doctor, someone mentioned on the panel that, there is a bit of conflict with the Doctor. There is a bit of exploration into his feelings, which we don't normally get too often, but when it does happen, it's interesting. I'm going to give this an 8.5 because it's only.
You had to be different, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had to be different.
Well, they all gave it an 8. Couple people gave it a 9. I gave it an 8.5. I think I'm being fair because I gave World War III 8. And I do really like that episode. And I think that's up there as well as one of the best Doctor Who episodes. Actually, I think that 2-parter should be up there. It's just the costumes of the aliens I just didn't like in World War in that Aliens in London in World War III. I even actually said it during we watch along. If they had been slimlined and the heads were a little bit smaller, they would have worked because they were very sinister anyway. You listen to the dialogue; it's very sinister dialogue. It would have worked. So that's the only reason why I gave the points off. The story itself is bang on. I even said during the episode with Mickey and Jackie, there's great little conversations with those. Remember, this is a woman that accused him of murdering her daughter, and he comes to the rescue. So I found that very interesting. Whereas this episode, I like the way it started. I like when an episode of Doctor Who actually starts like that, where you either they show you the end result and then they go back and show you the events that led up to that particular time, and then we see the resolution. So I kind of do like that. So I think 8.5 is actually fair. To be quite honest with you. So and you should have kept the aliens in the jumpsuits because they looked ridiculous from behind. So yeah, that's all I'll say. I'm not going to say any more than that. Anyway, I do like the Peter Cabal. Like, I don't really mind Caretaker that much. It is, I mean, the school girl's annoying in this because this is the one where your girl is trying to fucking
Courtney.
Courtney.
Oh, God, yeah.
She's annoying as hell, and then you get more of this Danny Pink nonsense. But look, if Danny Pink had been better fleshed out, he's a good actor. They just, I don't know, man. I still find the conflict between the Doctor and Danny really contrived because it doesn't make sense to me. And I know what you're saying, Charlotte. It's kind of a mirror, but I still think the Doctor's reaction is an overreaction, and we'll get into it when we talk about it next week. Anyway.
Oh, I agree in the Caretaker. It is very much in that episode an overreaction.
It is. It's definitely an overreaction by him. But we'll come to that when we get to that episode. So what we'll do is, Jesus Christ, me voice. I don't know about you guys, but have you noticed that, like, even when you're talking, your voice box very dry all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's because of the air. If the air is humid, it makes your voice go.
Well, anyway, there we go. I'll have to get something to drink now because that's annoying. So if you could do us a favor, we'll go around the panel as usual. You know what to do. Any social medias, whatever YouTube channel you are going to be on, or if you just want to plug, you know what to do. Yeah. The usual shit, And you guys in the chat pay attention to, right? Because there's some good whoppers here. So we'll start off with the one and only Problem Being.
Yes, you can find me at Instagram on Audred Audiovisual. That's AUDRED, and the second word audiovisual, one word, and that's the same as my YouTube channel.
Fantastico. We go next to the Queen.
Yeah, so you'll catch me, should be tomorrow night on Type 40 Live and Type 40 Podcasts, because we've recorded a Jodie special, which I don't know when Dan's putting that out, but we have recorded one. And then on Scottish Davros and Friends, Wrestle with Pop Culture, we'll be back at some point once we've had our little break with Line of Duty, and if we any other streams, and you'll catch me on here.
Fantastic. Brilliant. PD Rich?
You can find me normally in Rabbi's chat, and also go and subscribe to Jack's channel.
Fantastic. And Real Super Doctor.
I've got an account under Real Super Doctor on YouTube, and I've got a Twitter under Real Super Doctor. And
you know where to find me. I'll be here. So listen, I just want to give you a heads up of what's going to be happening now. So obviously, we've got the centenary coming up, and then after that, then, we're going to be concentrating full steam on the RTD era, and then his specials are going to drop, right? So this is what's going to be happening on the channel, and this format is going to stay this way. So this is the way it's going to go in future for when we do the live stream. So I'll be continuing the watch alongs like I did for this Whittaker era. So I think, I started doing it for Flux, didn't I? But I'm going to keep that up. So me on my own watching the episode, right? Come and join me for that. They did very well the last time, so we're going to keep them up. Then after that, we have the panel. Obviously, we'll have the likes of the Queen Charlotte and Lee, the usual suspects, but we'll have a panel for them for the centenary, and then obviously then for beyond. But then, new then to that will be a member stream, right? So after I'm finished that and I take a little break and everything settled down a little bit, I'll be doing a member stream where I will be telling you how I felt about the episodes. I won't be giving anybody my opinions during the watch along or during the panel. I'll be just concentrating on hosting on the panel, getting as many comments in, getting as many opinions as we can, also in conjunction with the panel. And also I'll be encouraging you, if you have any questions for the panel, to get involved. So that's what's going to be happening from now on. So the centenary is when it all kicks off. And then obviously then when the RTD era kicks off, then this is what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be very busy when an episode actually drops. But I don't give a crap. I use no me during that time. I do have plenty of energy. I'll probably regret it a couple of months down the line when I burn out, but we'll deal with it when the time comes. I'll be drinking plenty of bleeding energy drinks and the shit to keep me going. So I'll be fine. So that's what's going to be happening. I just want to give you a heads up on that, just in case, because you obviously, just to let everybody know, for starters, but also let the members know that's what's going to be happening as well, right? So it'll be like it'll be me just giving my opinion, but obviously I won't hold back because it's a member stream. So there'll be things that I'll be able to get away with saying on a member stream that I wouldn't necessarily be allowed to get away with on here. Could you imagine if I had done member streams for the Jodie Whittaker era?
Oh my God.
Trust me, it would have been a shitstorm. So I will just be out straight from now on. I'm even getting sick and tired of all of this bullshit that's going around on social media. You know, people judging stuff before they watch and yeah. The latest one is with Wednesday, you know, this Addams Family spin-off series. They're all losing their shit because Gomez doesn't look like the TV show Gomez and the movie Gomez. But what they don't realise is
I think he looks like the original Gomez. But
he does.
It's Wednesday I have a problem with. She's too pretty.
Doesn't matter. Jesus, you had, what's her name, playing Christina Ricci back in the day in the movies.
Weird anyway.
She was pretty too. Come on.
Yeah, but she had a slappable forehead. Look, you know. I think...
For God's sake, look. I know some people have seen the promo pictures and the blog. And you know what? You know what's quite telling, though, is you can clearly see the people that actually know what they're talking about and the people that don't. And the people that are complaining are making themselves look very stupid indeed. Lee is spot on. Gomez is spot on in those promo pictures. You mightn't like it because you grew up with the TV show one and the movie one. But this is how the original creator intended Gomez to be. So if you're moaning about that, I'm sorry. You're just moaning for the sake of moaning. And I've seen it. And anybody that praises it, then you're retweeting them, hoping to get a reaction. Then you bitch then that you're being picked on. Just leave it out. That time in the fandom needs to stop. That actually does need to stop. All of that nonsense, right? If you hate the pride flag, fair enough, right? But don't deliberately go and seek people out because they have a pride flag in their bio. See, this is the thing I'm not liking, right? You can have your opinions that you have and you can disagree with any side of the argument you want to disagree on. But when you actually go out of your way to seek these people out and put up posts deliberately because you know it'll get a reaction, because I used to do it. I used to do it with the J-Bots all the time. I used to wind them up something fierce. I'm not going to lie. I did, and I fucking enjoyed it. But that's the thing about it, right? It got too enjoyable, and I got stuck down that fucking, that rabbit hole, right? And I needed to get out of it because it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It affects your mental health. You know what I mean? There's a time you pick and choose your battles, right? But that's not even happening anymore. These people are just complaining, moaning about this, that, and the other. And then they're just showing their lack of intelligence. They're just showing that they don't know what they're talking about, right? Do your research. You give out to the media. You give out to people not doing their research, these fans not doing their research, but yet then you just put up something stupid and say, oh, well, I'm glad we're not the only ones talking about this now. There's nothing to talk about. If you don't like the way Gomez is, even though that's the way Gomez is supposed to be, well, then I say, shut the fuck up, don't watch, and move on. Okay? If it's not your cup of tea, move on. They're already, oh, this is not going to be good. This is going to be shit. You haven't seen that. You haven't seen that, and you can't judge it. You can't judge it. And just because we've had the few years that we've had, doesn't necessarily mean, and this is where the fandom has lost the plot, right? On both sides, right? Not every casting, not every fucking decision that's made by Hollywood or studios out there is based off ticking boxes, diversity, and all of this other rubbish. Is the majority of it? Yes, I will agree. It has, over the last few years, it has been the majority, right? But it's every single decision that's made, right? Someone will be casting, it's a tick box. How do you know? How do you know the person's actually? It was the same with Shooty. Straight away, people went to the tick box thing.
Yeah.
Straight away, right? But they didn't check out his CV. They didn't check out the awards he won, and they didn't check out the actor themselves. Right? I even watched some clips. I'm not going to sit here and say I watch his shows. It is something I plan to do when we get closer to his era, because I want to see what he's like as an actor. But from the clips that I've seen, he looks pretty impressive. And he's got a CV and the awards to back it up. Not every decision, and this is RTD. RTD doesn't make decisions based off that. Anyway, he never has. He always brings in the best people for the role. So this nonsense needs to stop, but it's not going to stop. I'm actually pissing into the wind talking to these people. Right? They're not going to listen. So let them, because it'll get to the stage where people will get sick and tired of them moaning all the time. They just have to be, you know, the accounts. They're on Twitter. You see them all the time. They're always negative. There's never one positive thing said by them anymore. Not anymore. It's all negative, right? They just cannot be happy about anything, right? Now they've jumped on this thing because the writer of Obi-Wan decided that he let the cat out of the bag, and this is done deliberately by Disney as well, by the way, just to let you know. But he let the cat out of the bag. Oh, it wasn't Leia that was supposed to be the star of the story. It was Luke Skywalker, but we were vetoed by Kathleen Kennedy. Right? So you get that type of nonsense going on. Right? But why did the writer of that show come out and say it in the first place? I'll tell you why. Because he wanted to cause the controversy. They're fueling it just as much as the Phantom Menace are fueling it. Right? They're just as bad as each other now at this stage. Right? The Phantom Menace need to realise, right? They don't give a shit about you. Just like you don't give a shit about them. But you're going around calling Disney employees the G word, which is now being banned, and then he's bitching moan why it's being banned. He's literally going around calling anybody that word without having any evidence to back it up, and then you wonder why he's being picked on. You need to stop that nonsense as well. Yes, we heard the news that in Disney there happened to be a ring. You know what I'm talking about. A certain ring, right, that was operating within Disney, right? But that doesn't mean that every single employee of Disney that works in the parks or works wherever they work is a G that you claim. And this is why these people are just as bad as the left now, right? They've gone to the extreme right, they've gone to the extreme left, and there's just like everything is bad to the right, and everything is needs to be inclusive is the left. So it's gone from one extreme. You know what I mean? It's the extreme ends of each fucking side
Renegade
now.
versus Imperial Daleks.
Exactly, it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. It is. But look, do you know what? I'm wasting my time because nobody out there that runs a YouTube channel will listen to me. This is my way of giving you advice. Is I going down the road trying to get the attention of the big YouTubers by saying, "Oh, look what I done! I'm covering this." Nobody gives a shit. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit. They never will give a shit. So stop trying to impress them. I learned very quickly that they don't give a shit. Trust me. Best thing to do is concentrate on your channel. Do your own thing. And don't try to emulate or copy the bigger YouTubers, right? Because it's the wrong way to run a YouTube channel, right? The best way to run a YouTube channel is to be honest with your audience, right? And to be true to yourself.
Yep.
Yeah? Be true to yourself, right? Don't be an imitation. Don't be a copy. Be you. And if you can't be you online and you have to act a certain way on an online presence, well then you're just kidding yourself and you're kidding your audience that you grow, right? Stop with the nonsense. Stop trying to fucking impress the big YouTubers because they don't give a fuck about you. I do more, right? And Dan's channel and a couple of other channels, shout out channels all the time. We do more than the big YouTubers when it comes to promoting channels around us. We always do. We always give a helping hand, right? The others will do it once or twice. But once they do it the once or twice, that's it then. They're off on their merry way and they don't really give a shit unless you agree with everything that they say. And the fact is, I don't agree with everything that they say, but they're entitled to their opinions. But I wouldn't go and say you're this, that, and the other, right? But there comes a time when all this nonsense has to stop. But it's not going to stop anytime soon. So I'm going to shut up now because I've probably said a bit too much, but I don't really give a shit. I'm kind of getting sick and tired of going on Twitter and seeing someone bitch and moan about something all the time. There are positive things happening in the world. There are positive things happening in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Start reporting on them as well, because you know what? As a person that does view other people's YouTube channels, I'm sick and tired of the constant negativity all the time. Even here, we try to do something positive. We do the New Who. We'll bring back Classic eventually, but that'll come back, right? But we do New Who. We do movie streams. I do other streams as well. I throw music videos as well. And to be different and to put a bit of positivity up there, I do it, right? It's not all negative on this channel like some people like to claim. It's not, right? But you must have the balance. Yeah, Daniel came to me the other night and asked me for a bit of advice. I gave him a bit of advice. He was like, thank you. He doesn't need to thank me for nothing. He's doing well, right? Not because of me or anybody else. It's because of him. He had the confidence to go out there after being encouraged to do it, and look what he's doing now. He's doing amazing things. He keeps telling me about this wrestling stream.
Yeah,
right.
It's broken. I think it's broken him a bit. How well that video's done.
But you know why it did so well? I'll tell you why it did so well. Because when people were watching that stream, Daniel, they saw your passion come true for wrestling, right? And you see, this is what I've been trying to do myself, to do things that I'm passionate about, because I did get caught up in this vicious circle. We all did. We all got caught up in it, right? But I steered my way out of it now, and I think I'm better for it. But this is why people watch that stream with Daniel. They saw his personality shine through. They saw that he was honest and he was a genuine bloke. And that's what people, when they go onto YouTube, they want to see that. Because they are the main tools that you need. You don't need to be fucking clever even, right? You don't need to fucking know about technology. I'm shit at computers, you know that, right? But if you got a personality, you're true to yourself, and you come across as genuine, you will get the audience, you'll get the views, right? And this is what I'm trying to say to others out there. They're trying to manufacture the views. They're trying to generate the anger, so people will go and listen to their videos. Oh yeah, we're ranting about Wednesday. Who gives a shit you're ranting about Wednesday? You haven't seen that, and you're coming across as a bit of an idiot, right? Wait until you see it, and then if it's everything that you said that it was, well then right, you're vindicated. But why would you want to be vindicated in the first place? This is the thing. It seems to be like a badge of honor now. Oh, I was right about Obi-Wan. I was right about Boba Fett. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? You are right. But I thought the whole point of this is that we were to hold Disney accountable because we want better product. Not for brag that you're right. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm great. Ego, I got this right. Sub to me channel. Here, give me all your super chats and your money, and I'll take it, and I'll ramp up the drama even more, because tomorrow I have another video that says Kathleen Kennedy put Luke Skywalker up on the moon. Right, some fucking shite from that masked idiot as well. Like, open your fucking eyes and ears. Most of these people are frauds. I'm going to say it. Most of these people are frauds. They have built their channels on lies. Open your eyes. You shouldn't be listening to them, right? You should be going after genuine content creators like Daniel, right? Like the Space Book. Right, Rabbi, myself, Lee. Well, Lee does artwork on his stuff, but he still does something on his channel.
Jack,
you've got Marty out there, Jack. Right, people like that. They're the ones you should be supporting.
You've got people like Gobby Guy who literally deleted his channel and started again.
And Gobby Guy who started again, and look how well that's done. I'm sorry that I've had this rant, but this has been bubbling under the surface for the last couple of months, and I'm sick and tired of it. Right? I don't care if you don't like a particular film. That's right. You make your point. You make your video. But fucking move on. Move on. You don't need to fucking do 20 videos on it. Nobody cares. You gave your opinion. So move on. Jog on. It's like we get it. You don't like Disney, Star Wars, so what are you all getting upset about it for then? These fucking morons. You have 6 movies. Right? Kathleen Kennedy's made it clear. I don't like you as fans. I don't like Star Wars, so it's not your Star Wars, so fuck off. She's told you to fuck off. Right? You aren't doing it. See, this is why I'm saying this. You aren't doing it the right way, though. Right? You are going after Disney, these fans, like with the rainbow flags and all of this. You think that's fighting the pop culture war. Meanwhile, Disney and the executives are sitting back laughing at you all because they're still creating shite. Because you started putting the pressure on Disney.
No, you're just creating more trouble on their Twitter.
Exactly. And they're adding to it. They don't. They're
Why
adding.
does your voice sound high and shrieky?
Because I'm doing
Like-
the high pitch
like mine.
voice now.
Like mine does when you're annoying.
Because I'm annoying. I'm annoyed.
Stop doing that.
Hiya, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
It's like that. It's like that episode of South Park where fucking the Jonas Brothers are there and Mickey Mouse comes in and beats the shit out of them because they're not happy with the fucking because they won't wear the purity rings and all of that shit. You know, maybe Mickey Mouse should fucking look at Disney and go, oh, "I'm fucking out of here, mate." Mickey Mouse should fucking leave. He should go to Warner Brothers instead. Could you imagine Mickey Mouse? Oh, that would never happen. Anyway, but seriously, all of this nonsense has to stop because you know we're never going to get anywhere.
They're
And this
becoming the thing, becoming the
and,
enemy. aren't
yeah,
they?
exactly. Well, they are. Look, there's not they're becoming. They already are.
The enemy, yeah.
They already are, and that's the reality of the situation, right? Coming out with stupid nonsense all the time, pretending they're not even running their own accounts on Twitter, and then they let the cat slip out of their bag. They're fucking idiots, the whole lot of them, right? The only one that I have actually respect for out there, and I'll say it publicly, is Gary from Neurotics, right? Because still to this day, he'll send me a message, right, and keep in contact. It's not very often as it used to be, but he's busy. You see how well he's done, and that's brilliant. I just don't like some of the people he has on, but that's just the way it is, and I'll be honest about it. But I do have a huge respect for Gary. He has helped out the channel, but you know, if I were him, I would go on my own. To be quite honest with you, but it's not going to happen now. But no, I'm not staying silent anymore. Right? These people are trying are just as bad as the media, setting the narrative out there. Trying to make out things are a lot worse than what they are. And they're not. Hollywood is still making some gems out there, people. Right? They're still making some good shows and they're still making some good movies. And I guarantee you that people on this panel will agree with me. Right? They are. There's still some good shows coming through.
If anything, you just have to look a bit harder.
That's it.
You just have to sift through some of the rubbish. And some people don't want to do that.
I watched a really good show. I watched a really good show the other week, actually. I binge watched it. It was on Amazon Prime. It was called Outer Range.
Right.
Really good. It's got like a little bit of wokery, but it's
right.
only like
but
what's
it about? Give us a synopsis. What's the the gist? What's the gist? Is it sci-fi? Is it?
It's set in Wyoming in America. It's set on this ranch. And there's a giant hole is in the ground, and it's weird. It's a weird hole, and weird
right.
stuff.
Say no more. Say no more. Weird hole.
That's all I'll say.
Is good enough. Is good enough for me. That sounds intriguing. It sounds a bit like From. I might have to check that out.
You know that show you told me about From.
Yeah,
it's kind of along
this.
that kind of. It's along that vein.
Well, then me and Cheryl will definitely check that one out. What's it called again?
It's called Outer Range.
Outer Round?
Outer Range.
So you keep Outer Range. Okay. It's just every time you said range, you were cutting out, so it was a bit fucking weird. But Yeah, I'll check that out, man. But look, Squid Games is another one. I still haven't watched it, but Cheryl, look, if Cheryl tells me something's good, I'll take her word for it now because
yes.
everything she
Squid
has
Game's
picked.
great.
So
Yeah.
Squid Games, you've got Stranger Things if you're still a fan of that, right?
Yeah.
You've got
It's
the
on the fourth
Orville.
season.
You've got the Orville. I thought Strange New Worlds was great.
Better
Listen,
Call
there's
Saul. Better
Better
Call
Call
Saul.
Saul, yeah. Everybody's
Fantastic.
ranting about that as well. Westworld apparently has gone back to form.
Yeah.
Listen, there's still good stuff out there. Do you know why I'm so pissed off? I just wish they would balance it a little bit.
Yeah.
They could still talk about it. Look, it is their channel. They can run it whatever which way they would like. But I'm
Oh, and
pretty
the Terminalist.
sure.
The Terminalist.
Yeah.
That was good
yep.
as well.
But I'm
That's
pretty sure people would always like to go onto a channel and see that there's some sort of balance there. You know, where, there's some things that you might be looking forward to. Because remember, me and Lee have often done it on panels as well, where we've been here and we've actually recommended TV shows for you.
And
We've
go
done
and watch.
we've done it to each other. Like
And
we
we've
said,
done
oh,
it
you
to each
watched
other.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
even
and
off
watch,
stream now.
Go and watch 13 Lives if you can on Amazon Prime.
I watched
Film
it.
about-
The movie is brilliant.
that was
Isn't
so emotional. I was like, wow.
it was, wasn't
So
it?
amazing,
And Lee,
amazing
without
story.
giving that away, Lee, how they did that was fucking crazy, wasn't it? Though
I know, insane.
we'll
But
say no more. But 13 Lives, I
you gotta go
recommended that
wild.
movie on this channel, and I told people to watch it. Now Lee backs me up. This movie is brilliant. If you like our movies about real life stuff that happened and rescues and stuff like this
That's
movie. And Ron Howard gets a bit of stick, but he did Apollo 13 as well. Ron Howard is a great director, I think. He does he loves doing these type of things, right? So if you're a fan of Apollo 13 or you even like the concept of that, you will like this movie. He does disaster movies. He does these kind of rescue movies very well. I think that's his best genre.
Yeah,
quite
he
honest
likes
with
his
you.
weird docu-movies, doesn't he, Ron Howard?
Yeah. So
And Chris
this one is great.
Treasure reminds us Cobra Kai season 5
Cobra
starting
Kai,
in
season
3
5,
weeks.
Oh yeah, Cheryl told me the trailer dropped. I'll have to actually check that out now. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
I haven't seen the trailer either, but I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait, because you know what? Even all the posters are saying all shit is gonna break loose. This is gonna, I'm telling you now, right? This is gonna disappoint a lot of
Right, so
people. I'll tell you why. Because people are expecting it to be high octane at the start. This won't. This is gonna be a slow burner, right? But it'll be intense. There'll be moments, like in Serious One, where there are moments between Johnny and fucking Danielson. How did I'm starting to lose my memory now.
Danielson.
Right? And you know the way they built that up, where they gonna fight? Are they, you know what I mean? We always thought, it's in the background. That's the way it'll be for this series. I guarantee it. They'll build it up, and then all hell's gonna break loose with the last few episodes, and it's just gonna be epic. Listen, this show hasn't let me down at all. People have their favorite series, but in fairness to me, not one of them has been a letdown. In fairness, and I think if you've got a show that's that consistent, it deserves all the plaudits it's getting. And I just, for their sake, I hope it just keeps improving, because you can tell that they love it, and I just hope this series is just, look, I can't believe I actually refuse to watch this, because this is why, but hold on, this is why I've said everything I've just said, but this is why I said everything that I just said a few seconds ago. You know that big rant that I just had? But this is why I said it, because I judged Cobra Kai without even fucking watching, based on what other people out there were saying. And there was some negativity towards it before this show even aired, right? It was only after the fact where then people were saying, oh, this is actually quite good. But I still didn't want to watch, because I was thinking of all those people that were negative about it, because the reports were coming in about it, and people were doing videos and they were being negative about it. They were saying it was going to be crap, it was going to do this, that, and the other, and it's all diversity and all of this other rubbish that they came up with. And look, it's all girls and all of this crap. So I was like, well, I'm not going to watch. And I'm not making that mistake again. And that's why I say to people, Yeah, we can give a review on a certain episode or a certain movie, but at the end of the day, it's up to yourself. You'll only know yourself if you watch how good or bad something is. Do never take the word of me or any of the other people out there, including the critics, by the way, and media. Go and check
never
these out
trust
for
them
yourself.
anymore.
Just go and check them for yourself, right? And then, obviously, if there's a YouTuber that you agree with, then obviously you can go into that video and leave a comment and say, yeah, I agree with everything you said. Don't just follow the word of people out there. Check these things out for yourself. It's the only way to know whether something is good or bad. Now, would anybody else like to add that before we finish up tonight? I do have a super chat. I haven't forgotten. I just have to go into my phone to read it out to see what it is.
It's a sticker.
I was gonna say, I think it's.
Well, we got a unicorn. Yeah, a 149 super chat unicorn from Kip Ellis, and I do like your little avatar picture, mate.
And
I like
Kip
that.
followed me on Instagram. Thanks very much.
Fantastic. I do like that. I like your little. I do like his little avatar. Do you see? It's a little Kip Ellis, and I think are they beach balls or balloons or something? That looks deadly. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, I think that's everything really. Noel, I sent you a promo image, which is enough to tell everyone's mouth watering for September 9th. Promo picture. Okay, let's have a look at what promo picture we're talking about. I'll go in there and we'll end with this promo picture. While I'm doing that, does anybody else want to add anything to what I was saying, or are we all pretty much? Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
Well done.
everyone's fine.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what this is. Is this the promo image for Cobra Kai or something?
I would guess, because that's what you were talking about.
Let's see. I think I've seen this image, but I haven't watched the trailer, which I'm going to have to do now before someone fucking ruins it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're gonna get ruined, mate, if you don't watch it soon.
Well, I mean,
No, because I'm trying to think. I watched on Netflix recently the Lincoln Lawyer, which is not usually my type of program, but I quite liked it.
Yeah.
never heard of it. Might have to check that out too.
It's
Yeah.
from it said like some of the creators are they did like Boston Legal apparently and some quite well known court shows.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be all out war next season.
It's gonna kick off, but it's not gonna. I don't think it'll start off fast paced. I'll be very surprised if it does. But I reckon it'll be a slow burner. But that's a nice promo. I seen a different image where they're facing each other. It looks very intense. So that's a new one. I haven't seen that one. But there you go. It's not far away. It's only a few weeks away, folks. So if there's a possibility of squeezing in, watch a lot, or even reviewing these, we'll see what we can do. Noel, can you let Lee go? We have more important stuff to do. Lee can go anytime he wants, mate. He's already done his channel shout outs. If he needed to go, all he had to do was actually tell me. I mean, he's not.
Shut it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a baby. He can actually, talk to me. So if you need to go, feck off. Go on and save the universe with Jack. Go on.
Just hurry up and finish. I'm being professional. No,
I don't give a shit. You're being professional. Get
Shut
on.
your mouth.
Go on. See what you caused, Jack.
Soft. I know when I'm not wanted.
Yeah, you're not. Go on, feck off. What you doing? What you watching?
Well, we got we're gonna work on a animation, a stop motion animation, and we're gonna do a Doctor Who thing, and then we're gonna watch Lord of the Rings.
All right, well then you go ahead because Lord of the Rings is on for ages. Go on, because I'll be talking for a few more seconds.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye.
See you later. and that's Lee banned now for a couple of months now. Right, so there you go. The Lee zone. It'll never be the Lee zone.
No, it is dependent on what the stream is.
No. It'll never be the Lee zone. Lee will be reeled in eventually. It's just going to take time. We have to train him. You know, I'm even getting better at giving people a chance to bleed and speak. All right. Anyway, go and enjoy your stream and be careful on Jack's stream. Remember, certain curse words you can't use, Lee. So just be mindful of that as well. I feel awful now. We're joking, Jack.
Yeah, Jack, don't take it
Oh
seriously.
my
Joking,
God.
mate,
Jack, me and Lee
joking.
do this all the time, mate. Right? He used to do this and go off and do streams with Rabbi, and I tell him to basically feck off. Go on, you go. Are you going? Go on, then. Get out your band. Get out. Right?
Jack,
It's what we do.
this is how they show their love for each other. It's literally
Exactly.
like a couple counselling on stream.
Yeah. So don't feel bad. You go and watch your Lord of the Rings and you do your whatever animation you are doing. We'll look forward to seeing that if that's for everybody to see. So we look forward to it. You don't need to feel awful. Stop that. It's a joke. It's a joke. No, I don't really like him, so you can keep him. Yeah. Right. I'll bring in a new panelist. I've got someone to replace him already. It's already sorted. The announcement will be made next week. I'm only messing. Anyway, Noel, it's time to accept it. It's the Cheryl zone. Well, she's not here, so while Cheryl's not here, it's the Tarda zone or Noel zone or whatever. Basically, I'm the dictator. I say what goes, and if you don't like it, that's gonna end well. I'm only messing. By the way, we've jumped in subscribers. Just say to me, new subscribers, that this is pretty normal. So I don't want you thinking that me and my panelists have fallen out. We haven't fallen out. This is actually normal, regular
This is tame.
behavior.
This is actually quite tame. You haven't had a shouting fit of Lee
Yeah.
and Noel
Oh, yeah,
increasingly calling each other not good names, folks.
Yeah,
That's...
yeah, that happens sometimes when Lee won't back down and I won't back down. That has happened a few times on this channel. But that's why people tune in. Because we might be all friends, but we still do have different opinions, and sometimes we clash.
Yeah. And we all chat to each other off channel, so you know.
And then we
Yeah.
chat off channel, and then I'll just say to Lee, ever do
All
that
the time.
again, and I'll get me laptop and I'll ram it down your throat, and then it's done. It's done. I'm only messing. I don't even say that. What we do is we just straight away it's dealt with. It's like, you know, we'll say to each other, like, that was, you know, one of us went too far. We'll admit it. But obviously, we don't want to admit it, but we eventually do because it's the right thing to do. It's adult behavior. Anyway, Noel and Lee were an old married couple in their previous lives. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture. 2022 is a great year for our channel. Yeah, Daniel is all coy, but he's been sending me messages like code, like saying that he has plans, great plans for the channel. I have no doubt that they will be.
I love that.
But,
He's been sending you those. I don't know these plans, Daniel.
I don't know the plans, but he keeps telling me. He sent me a message to say that he has plans, but then I'm all intrigued and I want to know. But then at the same time, I'm
I
kind of
don't
like,
know either. So
at the same time, I'm kind of like, no, I don't want to really know. I want to see what he has actually planned because it's better when you don't know. So yeah, he has some plans, and I'm pretty sure whatever he has planned, it'll be amazing and it'll kick the channel on even further. And as I said, it's well deserved. But before I go on any longer, I will leave it there. But thank you for tuning in, and for everybody that's a member, I did do a watch along member stream, Series 1. So we were on World War III. So check that out. Obviously, we'll be back with more Doctor Who stuff tomorrow because there is a couple of things I want to talk about. You've got a BBC iPlayer or BBC bragging about their views, but we're going to go into that. We're going to show you something very interesting, and the fact that they don't break down the numbers on what series of Doctor Who that the people are actually watching. Doctor Who finished last in BBC's iPlayers record year or something, or record quarter for watching programs. Doctor Who came in 10th. EastEnders was number 1. Doctor Who came in 10th, by the way. 12 million streaming views it got. Now, here's the thing that we will be exploring on the channel tomorrow. Here's the thing, 12 million views, yeah? Now, the Jodie Whittaker supporters will say that the 12 million viewers are down to Whittaker's current era. But you see, this is the thing, you cannot make that claim, right? Because we don't have a breakdown of the numbers. But if I was to be guessing, because of the last 5 years and the trend the series has gone in live views and the overnights, it is safe to assume that most of the 12 million views for Doctor Who isn't actually the Jodie Whittaker era. I'm not saying that some of them aren't. Clearly they are. But I say the majority of them, I'd say it's around, say, 4 million that have probably rewatched the Whittaker era, right? Or episodes to catch up on. Say about 4 million. So that leaves 8. And I reckon that's spread between the rest of New Who. But without actually having the figures and the numbers, you know, we have the main figure, but it's not broke down. But I do want to talk about that because the other side, you know, it's like as if they just can't accept. They're like Amber Bot herds. You know,
No,
they just
can't
can't
accept
accept Amber lost. The Jodie Whittaker fans
You
just
can't accept she lost.
They just can't accept the fact that this era wasn't popular. I'm sorry, the claim that Jodie Whittaker got most of those views, you are absolutely talking out your backside.
Well, let's just say there's a reason pretty much every year Doctor Who gets renewed in a sense, because if people don't know about iPlayer, there's a set amount of time that something is available. And Doctor Who continuously every year gets another year on top of the one it had.
Yeah.
So
Go on, Charlotte. Go on.
no, I was going to say, so if they're doing that, they've been doing that before Jodie, and I think and I've even noticed it more since Jodie. So if they're having to renew the whole of Doctor Who, that is because the whole of Doctor Who's being watched, not just Jodie in the slightest.
Right, I thought there was a bit of drama going on in the chat there. Anyway, everybody's just having a conversation. It's nice to see everybody chatting to each other in the chat as well. But yeah, look, these are things that are going to be debated way after and way even when we go into the new era, because our fans, and I don't mean the genuine ones. I'm talking about these fanatics, these blow-ins as I call them. They're just never going to accept that this era was a failure from top to bottom, right? And they're going to continue this nonsense. But at the same time, it's important that channels like ours keep these things in the public eye and make sure that BBC, well, it's not BBC now, obviously, Bad Wolf learn from the decisions of the past. So that's why it's important that we keep talking about this, because we don't want Russell to go down the same path, because if he does, it's bye-bye Doctor Who. So, you know, these type of nonsense stories need to be dismissed very quickly. And the media doesn't help either. That's why I think, you know, if you're being honest and as I said, be yourself and you're a YouTuber, that people will watch. And it's starting to happen with mine now. I'm starting to look at the channel. I'm not going to lie. I've sat here and told you the channel stagnated after Diva magazine. We've never fully recovered after the Diva incident. And that's the one thing throughout this whole culture war that has pissed me off. Forget about what the J-bots have done. That hasn't pissed me off as much as this has. Because of that, this channel has been set back at least 6 or 7 months in the way it should have continued. Because we were on an upward spiral when that happened, when I got that copyright strike. And then when that copyright strike happened, and then I had to appeal it. And you remember, I was waiting nearly 2 weeks before they made their decision. The channel was completely dead for 2 weeks. Nobody was actually going in to watch the videos then, because after a couple of days, people were not that I wasn't on, and some people that didn't know I was suspended or whatever didn't return. So Diva to me, and you know, you've watch out for those magazines. That's why I don't put articles up on screen anymore, and I don't read the whole article. You know, and I make it clear that the article's in the link description, and I'll just read out the parts that are of interest to us on the topic that we're covering in the actual stream. I won't read all the nonsense that comes with the article, you know, just the main parts that we need. So that's why I've been doing that. But that has really fucking, and it still bothers me to this day, because your man, the journalist that started this all off, he's still coming out with nonsense. Like, he's trying to say, right, his latest one, right? And I felt like covering this article. I felt like covering his tweet, but I knew if I had if I cover his tweet, I'm heading into some murky water with these people. But he's actually trying to say, no. But listen to this. He's actually trying to say that Chris Chibnall had a better understanding of the Doctor's character and the conflicts that the Doctor had than Stephen Moffat did.
Oh, really?
Right, because Stephen Moffat did listen. So he compared the episode Listen to the Timeless Child and said that, you know, Stephen Moffat showed the Doctor to be this abused kid in a barn. He came out with some nonsense like that. And I says, hang on. But Chris Chibnall taught us that if you find an abandoned child and you bring it home, you can experiment on that child and torture that child. It says, so you're telling me that's better than what Stephen Moffat did. Now, of course, he never answered me back, and he never does now because he knows not to, right? But the fact that he's coming out with that nonsense to still try and defend this man, because remember, it was his article that tried to defend the Chibnall era. He tried to say that the Chibnall era was less woke, right? That's what he tried to say, and I called him out for it when I read his article out. Do you remember? And I gave me comment on it, and he didn't like it. But I won't be living in fear with that person anyway. At the end of the day, he comes out with some nonsense, I will call him out, and I still call him out on Twitter, and I don't give a shit. But to actually say that Chibnall handled the Doctor's character better than Stephen Moffat. Look, I don't like certain things Stephen Moffat did. That's a given. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But compared to what Chibs did, I would take what Stephen Moffat did any day of the week. That child in the barn that was afraid of monsters under the bed, I will take that over a child being abandoned, found by a woman, brought back to a home planet, has an accident. The mother then is assigned to see that the child can heal itself, and then the mother then decides that she's going to experiment on that child, kill that child multiple times. You're telling me that's a better story? Fuck off, Darren Mooney.
Oh,
right?
No, do you remember what happened at the Comic-Con when after that had that dropped?
Oh,
the panel.
yes.
Oh, that was funny. They're all going around, of course, they're a dictator, child abuser, and the host was just almost like, "Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah,
What am I
do
doing?"
not respect that.
Yeah, they tried.
Respect
Yeah, and didn't they stop the chat then from going in or tried to monetize the chat? They only let certain. From then on, no, actually, it was from then on. Then when they did something on computer, because remember they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
do you remember then they were actually monetizing they were actually monitoring the chat, and all the negative comments were being held back, and all the positive comments were just being thrown in. Look we know all the things that they did during this era, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these journalists, Darren Mooney, right, and journalists like him, still to this day defending what this man did to this show. I'm sorry, don't call yourself a Doctor Who fan. You are never a Doctor Who fan as far as I'm concerned if you think that was okay to do, right? Because no fan in their right mind would sit back and watch the destruction of their show. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. So Chibs, as far as I'm concerned, isn't a fan because he wouldn't have done what he did because no fan would have done it.
No.
And all these journalists that defend them all the time, they're not journalists, they're propagandists.
Yeah.
You know, they chill for him you know, and they're still to this day, even though he doesn't give a shit about the last episode, they're still shilling for him. So we know what magazines to avoid now. Digital Spy, Screen Rant, Diva Magazine, all of these Radio Times you kind of have to keep an eye on because under RTD, I reckon they will get a bit more now information, and the same with Doctor Who magazine. But as for the rest of the media out there, and even the ones on our side of the argument have become ridiculous as well, just ignore them all. Just ignore them all. You want to know how good a show is? Check out channels like this, Dan's, and all the other channels that I mentioned, because they're the channels that will give you an honest opinion about what they're watching. There'll be no agenda, no propaganda. It's just straight fucking talking, straight facts and honest opinion. And that's what we're about on this channel. And this is the thing that I've always been proud of, is that anybody that I've brought on has never been afraid to speak their mind, but has always been honest with their opinions and true to themselves. One thing I'm proud of, there's no airs and graces about this panel. There's no fucking fakery going on.
Yeah.
What you see on the panel is what happens behind backstage as well. We are no different to the way we are in our real lives, believe it or not. Right? There's no difference. Right? So the way I go on is the way I go on in real life. So you can imagine what it's like for people that actually live with me and know me. I'm a fucking disaster, right? I'm fucking seriously, man. They all see me coming, they all run. But that's the way I am, right? I'm not going to change for anybody else. That's my personality, right? And as you've seen, I think I've brought on some wonderful people. And you know, yeah, I think if I didn't have the personality that I had, I wouldn't attract all these wonderful people. Well, there you go. You know, I must be doing something right. So, you know, there you go. But look, I've met some lovely people, even people that I don't talk to anymore. They're all lovely people. I've met some lovely people on this journey, and I've met some nasty people, but the people that I have met in the majority have been lovely. And we've got one in the chat there as well. Daniel says he's shy. Daniel used to be shy.
Daniel, no.
Listen, when I first met Daniel, he was shy. But as soon as I start doing the phone-ins, that's when it all changed for Daniel, right? Daniel will give his opinions in the chat, but when I start doing those phone-ins, that's when Daniel actually really came into his element. Because when I did those phone-ins, I said, does anybody want to come on? Daniel was always the first person in the chat to say, I will come on. So it became a regular, right? It became a thing that when I seen him in the chat, I'd just say, am I bringing you on tonight? That's the way it used to be, right? Daniel started getting confident with each time he came on, and now there's no fucking stopping him. And fair play to him, and that's the way he should be. You know? Listen, as I said, you know, he thanks me the odd time for everything I've done. I've done nothing, mate. Everything that you've done yourself. All I did was bring you on here. You know, you were in the chat. I seen that you had a lot to say. I said it to you from day one. I said, you got a lot to say. Would you like to come on and have a chat? If I'm quite honest, I think the phone-ins kind of came about because you were so vocal in the chat. And I thought, you know what, maybe I should start bringing people on and hear their opinions. So then Daniel first came on. And then because he came on, then other people were seeing this and saying, oh, maybe I want to come on. So Daniel kind of started, Daniel should get the credit actually for the phone-ins, you know. But I did nothing, Daniel. You did it all yourself. The thing about it is, it was always there inside you. You just needed someone to kind of, not drag it out of you as such, but to encourage you. And now you've got Charlotte who encourages you all the time when you're feeling down or it doesn't go right. You know, you can talk to me, or Charlotte is there for you as well. But you done all this yourself, man. You done all this yourself. You don't need to be thanking me. I hate when people, look, when you thank me, I take it with the good graces. But when everybody else thanks me for something, I don't like being thanked, because all I done was I gave you an opportunity to come on here. You did the rest of you yourselves. You know, look at you all now, even the panel that I have on now. Some of you never used to fucking say a word. No, I can't shut you fucking up.
Oh,
know,
I used to never be on camera. I used to just
No.
be like little like quiet little one or two lines used to come out of me.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. And now look at you now. You're smashing it here, but you're also smashing it on Daniel's channel, and you're smashing it on Type 40, and that's brilliant. That's brilliant. But remember one thing, people. You all did this yourselves, right? My channel was just here. I just happened to be here, right? And he's happened to gravitate towards my channel, which is brilliant, right? But at the end of the day, you're coming on, speaking up, giving you your opinions. That was all on you, right? Because as I said to Daniel, the first time he came on and he spoke, I said to him, it'll get easier every time you come on, Daniel. Right, because he was still a bit nervous. Because he even said he was a bit nervous the first. I remember the first conversation we had. I had to really work hard at asking Daniel questions and trying to get stuff out of him because he was shy in the beginning. But within a week or two, that's all it took. Within a week or two, as soon as I brought him on, blah, 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 chatting away, and I was like, brilliant. But it was himself. He did it. Like when Charlotte comes on camera, she did that herself. You know, you get the confidence, you know, and you do it yourselves. I just happened to be here. But nobody needs to ever thank me for acting, right? I just thank you all that after 5 years, well, it's nearly 6 years now, that you are all still here with me. Daniel's with me 6 years. He's probably the longest subscriber that I have right now.
Yeah,
6
I think
years.
Daniel easy.
Daniel is definitely up there. I think he is the first. Yeah, he is. Daniel's up there. 6 years he's been with me. And look what he's done in 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying to him, he should be proud of himself. I'm proud of him. And I'm proud of what everybody else has done. Really am. And let's hope we can keep it up now. We will. We will. That's the thing. We will always stay true to ourselves. And that's what gives us an edge.
The good thing is our show isn't disappearing. We've still got a show to talk about.
That's it. And while there is a show, and listen, even if there wasn't, we would find some way of all coming together anyway and doing something. We would think of something to do because, you know, we've got this little community now, and we've got people from all over the world who love to listen in, tune in to us. So we got a bit of a responsibility there as well. So, and I love doing it. And I've loved these seriously, this year in particular for me has probably been one of the best years of streaming that I've done. I've really enjoyed it. We've had some laughs. We've even had some cries because obviously we lost a member of our community in Alpha Omega, and we're always thinking of you, by the way, buddy. You know, I do. I'd sit here sometimes at night time, and I'm on YouTube, and I'll come across his channel because obviously I'm subbed to him still. I haven't unsubbed. I'm still following his Twitter account. It's a little bit weird the things you do to kind of stay in contact.
Yeah.
Or try feel that someone's still around. Like I'll go in and look at some of his old tweets just to feel that he's still around, you know. He's looking at us saying, oh fucking Noel's moaning again, fuck's sake. You know? So yeah, we've built up a nice little family. And that's what it is. I keep saying community, but it's family. I mean, there's a close knit of us, right?
Yeah.
And then there's everybody else who's part of the community. So don't take it the wrong way, folks. But there is a tight knit little family group that between us all, where we're all very protective of each other and stuff. And then we have you lot that watch us each week and support us and keep us going as well. Because remember, there'll be times where we'll be down, you know, and we'll be feeling like shit, and then one of you guys will come along and comment on the video or whatever, come in, say something funny, and then the day is right. So look, I know I know I said I was gone 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I am gonna go now. I know it is. But this is something. But this is something I really wanted to say, and I've had to get a lot off my chest tonight because there was a lot of stuff that I've been bottling up. But again, I just want to thank everybody, because to me it's amazing that we even have members, because I never thought when I started off with those 52 subs, as I keep saying, Daniel was with me, 52 subs, that we'd ever get here. But we have. So I want to thank you all. And I know the panel thank yous as well, because they've been part of this. I don't take credit for any of this. This has been a team effort. So I just want to thank you on behalf of everybody that I've ever had on as a panelist, a guest. And hopefully you will stick with us now for the next few years, if I'm still around. And because you never know what could happen. But while we are here, hope you stick with us. And again, just thank you from me and everybody else that has been on the channel with me. So there you go. I'll leave it there now before I start getting emotional. So I'm gonna knock
You
the banner
start
off.
getting emotional.
Yes, I did. So I'm gonna stop now because my voice is starting to go. But anyway, thank you everybody in the chat, Chris, and all my other mods as well. As usual, thanks for keeping the chat safe. And don't forget, for you members, there's an RTD watch along. As I said, we did World War III. So if you didn't watch it, go and check it out. I'm pretty sure, as Lee said, he's got one stream a day, but he's actually off to do another one now. So he's actually broke his rule. But maybe he'll go back and watch mine later. Anyway, it's actually sad when nobody shows up. It reminds me of the old days. No, seriously, it does. It does. When I do the member streams, it's fucking weird. Because it reminds me when I had 56 subs and I'd be lucky if I had 2 people in the chat.
Yeah.
It was weird. Weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Rabbi did an impromptu stream tonight. We had to moderate. There we go.
No. It's all
Oh,
good.
we
It's
were.
all good. It's all good. Look at, I used to worry about that kind of stuff when I started off. Oh, someone's streaming at the same time as me. But at the end of the day, it's a big fucking platform. And as I said, people will see who's being honest and who's true to themselves, and people will gravitate towards those channels. So yeah. So that's it, right? So I've given you advice. I've thanked you all. I've been reminiscing. I've had a bit of a moan. We've also did a review of this episode. I did a review earlier on, and now we're off. So enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back tomorrow because I'll have plenty to moan about tomorrow, as usual. And stay safe. Look after yourselves. Good night wherever you are. It's 9 o'clock here now, so I better shut the fuck up. But it's night time here. So to everybody in the UK and Ireland, good night. Have a good evening. And to everybody in America, enjoy the rest of your day. You lucky Johnny bastards. Probably lovely where you are, but enjoy it. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Good night, folks. Have a good
night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye. Here's the new Who trailer, and I've actually got the high def version. Yes.
Great.
Why not? Just to the end. Just be kind.
That's not so.